Hello, welcome to World Fact Finder. In this episode, we will discuss 100 mind-blowing, random, and interesting facts about literally everything too weird to be true. Part 18. Let's get started. Number 1. Chadwick, the discoverer of the neutron, was a student of Rutherford, discoverer of the proton, who was the student of Thomson, the discoverer of the electron. Number 2. The record for the longest marathon run is held by Shizo Kanekuri, with a time of 54 years, 8 months, 6 days, 5 hours, 32 minutes, and 20.379 seconds. During the 1912 Olympics, he quit midway through a marathon race and went home to Japan without notifying the officials. He was considered a missing person in Sweden for over 50 years. In 1966, he was invited to complete the marathon. Number 3. Indian housewives hold 11% of the world's gold. This is more than the reserves of USA, IMF, Switzerland, and Germany put together. Number 4. During the Cold War, the USSR officials were able to identify a forged Soviet passport from a genuine one just from its staples. The staples in the real passports used to corrode quickly due to the poor quality of the metal used. Number 5. Traditional balsamic vinegar is aged for 12 to 25 years in a battery of 7 barrels of successively smaller sizes and can cost over $100 per fluid ounce. The stuff one usually finds in supermarkets is regular wine vinegar with thickeners, flavors, and coloring agents added. Number 6. Scientists have found a fungus that uses of gamma radiation as its energy source in Chernobyl's nuclear remains. Number 7. Since the 19th century, Western music has had a pitch shift. In effect, a C in Mozart's day was half of a semitone lower than what a C is today, and all music today is sharper than how several composers wrote it. Number 8. Between 1970 and 1973, 4 Israeli fighter pilots translated The Hobbit from English to Hebrew to pass the time in an Egyptian prison, where they were held as POWs. Their translated book was published commercially in 1977, and up until 2012 was considered the best Hebrew version of the book. Number 9. Companies use Elmer's glue as milk in cereal commercials, so that the cereal won't look soggy, and so that they can strategically place the cereal in the bowl. Number 10. Between 1993 to 98, a majority of U.S. senators were trading stocks and beating the market by 12 percentage points a year on average. By comparison, corporate insiders beat the market by just 5%, and typical households underperformed by 1.4%. Number 11. The center star of Orion's sword isn't a star. It's the Orion Nebula, and is the only nebula visible from Earth with the naked eye. Number 12. In 2001, a man died of complications from the injuries caused by a gunfire in 1966. His death was ruled a homicide, despite it occurring 35 years after the death of the shooter. Number 13. The inventor of the television didn't let his own children watch TV. He once said to his son, "There's nothing on it worthwhile, and we're not going to watch it in this household, and I don't want it in your intellectual diet." Philo T. Farnsworth. Number 14. There is a permanent underwater laboratory called Aquarius that is owned by NOAA, but used by NASA to study how people handle extreme living conditions. Residents are referred to as aquanauts. Number 15. Rugby was so popular in South Africa that in 1902 there was a temporary ceasefire in the Second Boer War so that a game could be played between British and Boer forces, Afrikaners. Number 16. The V-2 rocket in WW2 killed more people during production than as a weapon. 12,000 forced workers died making them, while 9,000 died from the attacks. Number 17. In 2012, a gang in the Czech Republic stole a 10-ton metal bridge to sell for scrap metal. Number 18. There was a swan nicknamed Hannibal, who killed and injured other swans. If any new swans were to enter his pond, he would fight them off, often hold their heads under the water to kill them. Any swans attempting to leave the pond would have their feet smashed to smithereens. Number 19. Abraham Lincoln signed legislation that created the Secret Service hours before he was assassinated. Number 20. An artist named Pierre Brasseau exhibited a series of paintings in 1964 to critical acclaim. However, Pierre Brasseau was, in fact, a chimpanzee. Even after the hoax was revealed, a critic declared that the chimp's painting was still the best in the exhibition. Number 21. The deepest gold mine in North America is located in Quebec, Canada. The deepest shaft of the mine reaches over 2.48 miles, 4 kilometers, underground, and is predicted to be able to access over 12.5 million ounces of gold. Number 22. James D. French was an American murderer who was put to death in 1966 by the electric chair. His last words were, "How's this for your headline? French fries." Number 23. One of the perks of being an Oscar winner is that you can have your Oscar repaired for free by the Academy. Number 24. In the city of Yiwu in eastern China, people were confused how a Chinese couple managed to run a busy restaurant 21 hours a day without getting tired. Locals named them Robot Couple Restaurant. Turns out, the restaurant is run by two couples. Both the men and women are identical twins. Number 25. 70% of the land in England is still owned by 1% of the population, largely descended from William the Conqueror's army. Number 26. J.K. Rowling told Alan Rickman the end to Snape's story arc before he ever appeared on camera as Snape in the Harry Potter movies. As a result, he often argued with directors about knowing something that they didn't. Number 27. If the Native Americans really did sell Manhattan to the Europeans for $16 in the 1600s, and if they had invested that $16 at annual interest rates of 8%, today, that $16 would have been worth enough for them to buy back all of Manhattan and still have $222 trillion left over. Number 28. An African tribe in Namibia still wears Victorian clothes, a style of former German occupiers that they've made their own. Number 29. In the late 1600s, London was plagued by an attacker who would spank his victims with a rod and shout, "Spanko!" before running away. Number 30. Speed is now so important in financial trading that a new $300 million transatlantic cable was laid down in order to shave 5 milliseconds off communications between New York and London. Number 31. The equivalents of the English saying, "That's Greek to me" are, "This appears to be Spanish, German. This is Russian to me, Dutch. It's German to me, Philippines. It's Hebrew, Finnish. It's Chinese to me, Hebrew. Sounds like Mars language. These are chicken intestines, China." Number 32. Elmer Fudd initially just wanted to shoot Bugs Bunny with a camera. He came to the country to photograph wildlife, but Bugs drove him crazy, causing him to jump into a lake and nearly drown. After that, Elmer replaced the camera with a rifle. Number 33. In 2006, Honda became the sole supplier of engines in the IndyCar series. It was for the first time in Indianapolis 500 history that the race was run without a single engine problem. Number 34. In 2009, Stephen Colbert won a NASA competition to have a module of the ISS named after him. but NASA opted to name it Tranquility instead. They did, however, name a treadmill on the ISS after him. It is called the Combined Operational Load Bearing External Resistance Treadmill, COLBERT, number 35. Astronomers have discovered a planet where it rains glass, silicate, sideways, in howling 7,000 kilometers per hour winds. This gives the planet a blue hue. It is 63 light-years from us. Number 36. 8th January 1836 is the last day in history that the USA had no national debt. Number 37. Christopher Columbus, on the way to the New World, was stranded in Jamaica in 1503 AD. Knowing that he was wearing out his welcome with the natives and that a lunar eclipse was near, Columbus warned the natives that the moon would vanish if they did not continue to feed him and his sailors. Number 38. Vincent van Gogh used to put candles in his hat so he could paint at night. He walked ridiculously fast, was a widow chaser, and never once signed his paintings Van Gogh. Number 39. In 4 out of 10 of the UK's largest airports, it's cheaper to park a light aircraft for 24 hours than to park your car. Number 40. Larry Lemieux, a Canadian sailor at the 1988 Olympics, was about to win a silver medal when he abandoned the race to save 2 other competitors who had capsized. He was given the Pierre de Coubertin Medal for sportsmanship. Number 41. Peacock feathers are actually brown, but have microscopic structures that interfere with light that make the bright iridescence. Number 42. In 2011, the city of Portland, Oregon discarded 7.8 million gallons of drinking water in a reservoir, not because of the dead animals regularly found in the drinking supply, but because a drunk 21-year-old peed in it. Number 43. In 1954, the city of Bombay in India had such a bad rat problem that they began accepting dead rats as taxes. This led to the mass breeding and killing of rats to use them for payment. Number 44. The tumbling tumbleweed, Kali tragus, a long-standing symbol of the lonely American West, is actually a foreign introduced species from Asia, commonly called Russian thistle. Number 45. 5,000 years ago, the Chinese created nail polish and used it to symbolize wealth and power among the elite. It was forbidden among the general population to use them. Reports exist of commoners sentenced to die for wearing it. Number 46. In 1967, the Prime Minister of Australia, Harold Holt, mysteriously disappeared while swimming. He was pronounced dead 2 days later, but his body has never been found. Number 47. Leonardo da Vinci deliberately left errors in the designs of his inventions in order to prevent it from being put to practice by unauthorized people. Number 48. Murderers in medieval Ireland were given to the deceased's family as slaves if they failed to pay a hefty fine to buy their freedom. The family could then legally kill the murderer themselves. Number 49. In Nevada, public intoxication is not only explicitly legal, but it's illegal for any city or town in Nevada to pass a law making it illegal. Number 50. In California and 3 other U.S. states, Ladies' Night are against the law because they are gender discrimination. Number 51. The adult Luna moth has no mouth and dies of starvation. Number 52. A baby elephant sucks its trunk like a baby sucks its thumb for comfort. Number 53. If the American president is unmarried or his wife dies during his term, another female relative will become the First Lady. 3 presidents' daughters, 2 presidents' sisters, 2 nieces, and 2 daughters-in-law have been First Lady. Number 54. On 5 April 2010, there were 4 women in space at the same time. This was the largest female gathering off the planet to that point. Number 55. Despite having created one of the largest fast food franchises, Wendy's founder, Dave Thomas, decided to go back to school and earn his GED in 1993 at the age of 61. His GED class voted him most likely to succeed. Number 56. A 456-pound man starved himself for a year and 17 days, only surviving off his own body fat, yeast, multivitamins, and potassium supplements. After this ordeal, he weighed just 180 pounds. Number 57. Italian singer Adriano Celentano released a song in the 70s with nonsense lyrics meant to sound like American English, to prove that Italians would like any English song. It was a hit. Number 58. There is a large stinging shrub native to Australia called the gympie that produces a neurotoxin so painful it has driven people and animals to suicide. The pain has been described as being sprayed with hot acid and electrocuted at the same time. A man was reported to have shot himself after using the tree as toilet paper. Number 59. Research has found that when ignored by that person whose attention means the most to you, the reaction in your brain is similar to that of physical pain. Number 60. IMDb is one of the oldest websites on the internet and began on Usenet long-standing system of internet bulletin boards. In 1990, as a list of actresses with beautiful eyes. Number 61. In 1929, a bat tower was built in Florida Keys to control mosquitoes. It was filled with bats, which promptly flew away, never to return. Number 62. In Australia, Weird Al's Eat It reached number 1 on the music charts, while the original Beat It only peaked at number 3. Number 63. The only difference between Tylenol Cold and Tylenol Flu is the box. They have exactly the same medical ingredients. Number 64. J. Edgar Hoover hated John Steinbeck so much that he used his influence to have the IRS audit Steinbeck every single year of his life. Number 65. The full moon always rises at sunset. The new moon always rises at sunrise. The first quarter rises at noon, and the last quarter at midnight. Number 66. After hitting his head in the shallow end of a swimming pool, a man named Derek Amato from Colorado woke with a condition known as acquired musical savant syndrome. He then went on to become a great pianist without ever learning to play. Number 67. Hall of Fame boxer Sugar Ray Robinson once backed out of a fight because he had a dream that he was going to kill his opponent in the ring. After a priest and a minister convinced him to fight, Robinson went into the ring and killed his opponent, Jimmy Doyle, in the fight. Number 68. The chains that you can see hanging under school buses and trucks are there to provide traction in snow. With the flip of a switch, the chains will lower automatically, and the centrifugal force sends the chains into action. Number 69. In the early 1900s, lots of German kids used to die from diarrhea until a doctor named Ernst Morrow invented carrot stew, which saved thousands of lives. In 2009, experiments showed that Professor Morrow's carrot soup could cure diarrhea caused by bacteria which are resistant to antibiotics. Number 70. Netflix monitors what is being illegally downloaded on BitTorrent and other pirate sites in order to work out what shows they ought to try and purchase. Number 71. Butt was a medieval unit of measure for wine. Technically, a buttload of wine is about 475 liters or 126 gallons. Number 72. German World War II pilots in North Africa used to fix bottles of Coca-Cola to the underside of their wings so that the drink would cool at high altitude and be ready to drink after landing. Number 73. In 2006, Tom Hanks was inducted as an honorary member of the Army Ranger Hall of Fame for his portrayal of Captain Miller in the film Saving Private Ryan. Number 74. The waffled-style ice cream cone, hamburgers, hot dogs, iced tea, cotton candy, and Dr. Pepper were all first introduced to mass audiences or popularized at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. Number 75. Before Nazis used the salute that is now commonly referred to as the Hitler salute, Americans did it while saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Number 76. Bermuda Triangle has had as many disappearances as any other part of the oceans of similar size, and many of the mysteries attributed to it happened outside of the triangle. Number 77. During the London riots of 2011, the looting and vandalism which took place throughout the city were almost totally avoided by bookshops. One man said his store would probably stay open during the unrest, stating, "If they steal some books, they might actually learn something." Number 78. Ancient Babylonians did math in base 60 and not base 10, thus giving us 60 seconds in a minute and 360 degrees in a circle, etc. Number 79. Some older, less efficient worker termites will develop backpacks of toxic chemicals that explode when the termite is threatened. They are essentially used as suicide bombers when the colony is being attacked. Number 80. You can buy miniature cows and bulls for pets, and they only grow to 1 meter in height. Number 81. Research has found that in loud environments, people are twice as likely to comply with requests asked in their right ear rather than their left. Number 82. When a mountain was found to be taller than Australia's highest mountain, Mount Kosciuszko, their names were swapped so that Mount Kosciuszko remained the highest mountain in Australia. Number 83. In the 60s, the U.S. Army did an experiment in which 2 people without nuclear training had to design a nuke with only access to public available documents, and they succeeded. Number 84. Speedy Gonzales was banned by Cartoon Network for being an offensive stereotype, only to be returned after a mass protest by the Hispanic American community. Number 85. After French soldier Jean Bernadotte showed kindness to a few Swedish soldiers, he became so popular in Sweden that the Swedes decided to make him their king when a vacancy came up, despite him never having set foot in Sweden before. The House of Bernadotte rules Sweden to this day. Number 86. Arnold made $75,000 for his role in Terminator, but in Terminator 2, he made $15 million about 7 years later. Number 87. In 2012, an entire city in Zimbabwe was instructed to flush their toilets at the same time to unblock sewers. Number 88. Researchers discovered a clam estimated to be 507 years old, the oldest ever living animal, and accidentally killed it. Number 89. Tolkien considered languages the foundation of his work. He created the stories for his languages, not the other way around. Number 90. The Higgs boson is nicknamed the God particle, not because of its fundamental role in the universe, but because of Leon Lederman, a theoretical physicist who wrote a book about it in 1993, called it the goddamn particle, as it was so difficult to observe. Number 91. Some police stations in China use geese instead of guard dogs to keep watch at night. Geese are very territorial and have better vision than humans. Number 92. The first Native American who met the Pilgrims at Plymouth Colony walked into their encampment and greeted them in English. Number 93. Syphilis had been called the French disease in Italy, Poland, and Germany, the Italian disease in France, the Spanish disease by the Dutch, the Polish disease by Russians, and the Turks called it the Christian disease. Number 94. From 1946 to 1948, nearly 700 Guatemalans were deliberately infected by American doctors to study the effects of venereal disease. The U.S. didn't formally acknowledge the study or apologize till 2010. Number 95. The first human cardiac catheterization was done by Werner Forssmann, who, after failing to get permission from his department chief, anesthetized his arm, inserted a catheter into his vein, and threaded it into his heart. He then walked down to the X-ray department and took a picture to prove it. Number 96. Dr. Ignaz Philipp Semmelweis dropped the mortality rate for childbirth from 12% to 2%, after he insisted that doctors wash their hands in between handling cadavers and delivering babies. Number 97. Mr. Ramon Artagaveitia survived the fire and sinking of a ship in 1871, leaving him emotionally scarred. About 41 years later, he was finally able to overcome his fears and nightmares, and deciding to sail again, only to die in the sinking of that new ship, which was the Titanic. Number 98. If a goose gets sick or is wounded while flying, a couple of other geese may drop out of formation to help and protect him. They will try to stay with the disabled goose until he dies or is able to fly again. Number 99. NFL moved the 1993 Super Bowl from Arizona after residents there voted against recognizing Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Number 100. Some lizards, in which the tail is a major storage organ for accumulating reserves, will return to a dropped tail after the threat has passed, and will eat it to recover part of the sacrificed supplies. Thanks for watching. Like and comment if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications so you don't miss the next interesting facts. See you in our next video.